Hello, it's Brain Awareness Week. I'm here to talk about promoting greater brain awareness, brain health, how we can strengthen our brain conditions, and investment into brain services. I'm Rosie. I'm a researcher with a love of all things science, and I got an acquired brain injury in 2019. I'm here to talk about that because brain injury remains a hidden phenomenon in Ireland, yet it affects thousands annually. Shamefully, in Ireland, only 9% of people with brain conditions are discharged to rehabilitation. These are services that empower them to live their life to its full potential. Sadly, many remain in hospital, sometimes for years, or they tend to get discharged to nursing homes. For a time, that was a plan for me. This is because rehabilitation services are largely inadequate. But without these services, people don't recover to live their life to its full potential. And these individuals are screaming, "Don't save me, then leave me." Many brain and brain-related conditions cause symptoms that are not obvious to the onlooker. And I want the Irish government to acknowledge this invisible disability, see everybody with a brain injury, push the boundaries of what's possible for us, and invest in more rehabilitation services. Because like everyone, we are valuable members of society worthy of investment. So Brain Awareness Week aims to promote investment in these services as well as research and prevention. Our government also needs to start thinking about the numbers of people with brain injury and the staffing levels required to accommodate that. So brain condition or not, let's look at what makes your brain work. So the brain weighs less than a brick, just over a kilo. And if you were to hold your two fists up side by side, it'd be about the same size as your brain. Now, if like me you've got pretty small hands, that does sound a little bit underwhelming. Well, it really isn't, because your brain is one of the most complex objects in the universe. It employs 80 to 100 billion nerve cells known as neurons, and it's capable of some pretty astonishing feats. So the neurons communicate with each other using electrochemical signals, and they prompt things like your movements, your speech, your thoughts, your emotions. They even control things like your heart rate. So this week is about raising awareness of brain health and how we can strengthen our brain. Every activity we do sends hundreds of electrical signals a second, forging connections in the brain. So activities like listening and playing music, reading a book, puzzles, board games, even going to take a walk with your friends. When you're active, neurons are getting fired up, and these mentally stimulating activity help to build up your brain. So the Neurological Alliance of Ireland and Acquired Brain Injury Ireland are campaigning for investment in services for the 800,000 Irish people living with neurological conditions. Sadly, these services are underdeveloped and under-resourced. We need them ensuring people reach their maximum potential, and they're also improving the flow of people from hospital to home. Because rehabilitation is a right, not a request. I had to completely reevaluate the importance of my brain's health condition and access to rehabilitation services when my brain was shook around like a Polaroid picture in a road traffic accident. I was one of the fortunate 9%, and I spent over a year rehabilitating and relearning to do things I used to do without thinking. Rehab is playing a very vital role in my recovery. So let's turn that 9% into 100%. Because everybody has a right to rehab. And just like to remind everybody to be aware of, understand, and most importantly, love your brain.